Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Julian, and today we're going to be looking at the Harley Benton Fusion Max. This is pretty much from the Fusion line. I also have the Fusion 3, so I will do a video on that and also compare them all to, maybe see how they are different, how they're the same. So yeah, that's something coming up. So if you can, subscribe to my channel. Also, let me know what you guys would like to see and if you like this content. Now, we'll do a little, we'll do a little bit of talking about the guitar. I'll tell you some of the specs, not every single spec, but at least the things that I think are interesting and important. And also, we'll then see some tones, clean, overdriven, and lead or high gain sounds. And then after that, I'll give you my personal opinion on the guitar. So let's look at some of the facts. Now, the guitar, first of all, is, I believe it's called Emerald Green. It is beautiful, guys. I gigged with this guitar last weekend, and on stage it looks amazing. I'll show a picture right here, which you can see how it looks under stage lights. It looks really, really nice. Let's start from the head. So we do not have lock-in tuners. We have some Harley Benton tuners, which I have no idea what they are, but they hold the tuning well. Now, this being obviously a guitar that has one of these tremolo systems of Floyd Rose, then we also have this lock-in mechanism here. Now, I think that since we already have this lock-in mechanism, then we don't really need lock-in tuners. They do make it easier to change strings, but in reality, it holds pretty well the tuning. But I'll tell you a little bit more about that in my personal opinion. So we have some gold hardware, gold tuners. Again, we have the Floyd Rose 1000 here. Overall stays in tune perfectly. It did take me a little bit of just playing around since the guitar was new, up and down to just kind of get it to finally kind of like adjust and settle. But once that happened, then you have no problem staying in tune even after I used it. We have some Tesla pickups, which are they're a bit good pickups. I'm not gonna say they're bad, they're not amazing either, but again, at the end of the video I'll say my personal opinion on them. But I think they're pretty good. We have a three-way switch. This is actually a mini humbucker. And then here, guys, we have a coil split. Let me show it to you. So here we can switch out from single coil to humbucker. I actually like that a lot better than maybe the push and pull now, which can be a little bit hard to take out, especially if you're gigging and then you're trying to push it out and then your hands are sweaty and then it's just kind of a little bit of a mess. So I do love it when a guitar has an actual switch for the coil splits. Right now, the body of the guitar is made of Nayoto. I have no idea how to say that, guys. Sounds like a cool, almost Japanese word to me, Nyoto. Sounds almost kind of like rar, right? But for me, the wood, and we can discuss it in the comments, but the wood doesn't make that big of a difference in reality for me. Me personally, I think that the construction, if it's neck through or bolt on, maybe the material or the neck, and the pickups, that for me really make up pretty much like 98% of the tone. The wood for me is gonna make it on an electric guitar at least very little. On an acoustic guitar is a different thing. Okay, but we have body, it's pretty light. I wouldn't say it's heavy or super light either. It's, if you probably had like a normal Strat, that's around how much you weigh. I don't have the exact measuring. I do very good measuring scale to you guys more precise measurements, but it's not heavy. It's not a heavy guitar. It's not like a Les Paul, which full Les Paul without weight reduction, which is super heavy. Now we have stainless steel frets. Again, guys, that is really, really amazing for the price. They feel good. I don't know, they call it like blacksmith. I have no idea what that means, guys, but they're stainless steel. For me, in reality, if it's stainless steel or copper or anything else they use, as long as they're polished, they're gonna work fine. All of the frets are pretty level. I wouldn't even say pretty level though, really well level. Didn't notice when I was gigging or playing it for the last 2 weeks, didn't have any problem with the actual, getting like a note that was buzzing or anything like that. So perfectly fit. I did have to polish them though. They came pretty dirty, and I think most Harley Benton guitars they tend to have to do that. Also, some PRS SC guitars I had to do some polishing too. So I think it's pretty normal, but just get like I think on Amazon they sell like this little thing you can just use them to polish, and that's it. Takes you a few minutes. Okay, now let's look at the neck. It is a maple neck, and I do love it. It's dark. I think it is rusted. It's not caramelized. I would say it's rusted. Let me see if I can show it well here. It's a beautiful neck, guys. It has a really nice flame. Really awesome flame. I love dark necks. And the neck on this is perfect. On the back, we kind of have like an orange color, which for me really matches well with the color of the wood on the neck. So just killer color options in reality. And then, you know, with the gold and the green, I think the guitar is just beautiful, at least for me. Green is my favorite color, and this guitar is just beautiful to play, beautiful to look at, and it's one of the reasons why I bought it too. Well, flowy and color too. All right, now as far it does have a little bit of the edges roll. I would say you could roll them a little bit more. That is something, guys, you could probably do like with almost any tool at home, just slightly, you know. You guys can probably check some videos on YouTube, but you can roll them a little bit more if you feel you need to. They're fine for me. I don't feel any, you know, pretty well done. I don't really feel any harshness. There's nothing here kind of like feeling like it's burned into my finger. As I said, I did get with it this last weekend, and it was amazing. By the way, guys, before I keep going, these are not the Tesla pickups. Now the sounds you're gonna hear, they are the Teslas, but I did change them for personal opinions. Again, I'll tell you at the end of the video, but the Teslas are fine. So if you kind of notice right now that they're like a different brand, this is because I already changed them. But you know, okay, you know, we'll get to that at the end of the video. All right, let's see what am I missing, guys. Electronics work pretty well. Everything else is pretty standard. I mean, it's beautiful, and that is something I could definitely say right now. Had no problems. You can see here that the cover is open. I just leave the cover open on all my guitars. I see no reason to keep it locked, especially if I need to change strings or if I wanted to adjust something. I just keep the top off. So it does come with the top, by the way, guys. We got a nice trim. Fits nice. Over here we can kind of fix how hard we want it. The knobs, they both feel pretty nice and sturdy. I don't. They actually feel exactly the same. They don't feel loose. It's probably because they're not push and pull. Usually with the push and pull one, you're gonna notice that it's one of them is getting really loose. Here, since they're not push and pull, they both feel pretty sturdy. The switch too feels like a steady switch. Doesn't feel like it's gonna break or flimsy or anything like that. And I think those are the spec, guys. Well, the fretboard is also maple. Beautiful neck, by the way. I really like the colors. And that's kind of it as much as the stats of the guitar. At least the things that I kind of noticed are important to me. So how about we listen to some tones, and then I'll give you my personal opinion, guys. Okay guys, and we're back from the sound. So let me know what you guys thought about the sounds. And so here are my personal opinions on the guitar. Let's actually begin with that, with the sounds. So the Tesla pickups, again, remember that I already changed them. That is something I recorded last week because I made the video in Spanish and trying to see if maybe making them in English I can, you know, just get a little bit more, you know, more people following and just, you know, get the information out there. So these are not the ones that I used to record the sound. Those were the original ones. Now, I did change the pickups, so you're probably asking if they're good, why did you change them? Well, just because personally, I'm always looking for a very specific sound. This one is Seymour Duncan Marhsall. Am I saying that right? I think I am. And then this is actually at the Marshall Cruiser. The reason why I changed them, guys, is because the pickups are good, but they were a little muddy, especially the neck, which is usually where I play my clean stuff. I do play in a cover band, and I do like to also record a lot of clean stuff. So even though this guitar is very shreddy, or it looks very shreddy, I guess, at least to me, I just wanted something with a little bit more brightness on the neck. And then I just had the whole pump, kind of like, you know, I didn't have it on any guitar, but I do love that pickup, so I just put it in. But the bridge is actually, it was pretty good. So again, you know, personal opinion, I just think that the neck was a little bit, maybe a little bit high. Okay, but they are good. They sound good. This one sounds like a full humbucker, like, you know, our normal one. It looks like a single pull, but it is not. It is a humbucker, and it sounds like a humbucker. Now, this one just gives it a little bit of a shreddy sound. I will do an update on this sound. I'll record some tones, just in case anyone is interested in looking, you know, with different pickups. Right now, let's talk a little bit besides that, guys. I think the important thing is kind of like saying, you know, what the guitar feels like, because, you know, we can look at the specs. We can listen to recordings, but then we have so many, you know, different things. We can do the recordings based on what gear you use. You know, it can change so much. So, you know, I'll tell you kind of like what I feel this guitar feels like to play, and the things I like, maybe things I don't like. So let's begin with the neck. There's three things I always look for in a guitar that are important to me. And in reality is, if I like the neck, that is actually the number one thing. I really have to love the neck. I have some guitar, for example, I had a Listening JP6. You can see it probably in a video from like 13 years ago, maybe 14. I love that guitar. That looked amazing. It was my dream guitar, but I just didn't gel with the neck. So I have to let it go. Still feel bad about it because you know, it was an amazing guitar in every sense, but it just didn't like the neck. So let's talk a little bit about that, guys. The neck is a little bit thick. Now, I know that when we look at this guitar, we like, I don't think you like shreddy, right? When we think shreddy, we tend to think about thinner necks and smaller necks. So this one, I would say, is a little bit chunky. It's not like a Les Paul 50s chunky. But if you're thinking of maybe a Strat, it's like a Strat neck, but like just a bit chunkier. It doesn't have a lot of shoulder. It is C-shaped, right? So just think that it's just fatter, a little bit fatter than maybe like a Strat neck. That is the best way to describe it. Harley Benton, they do have their own kind of like necks, because on the Fusion is a little bit different, but it's similar in the shape itself. So if you don't like kind of like thicker necks, then you might not like this guitar. If you could give it a try, you might like it, but again, it's not like a thin neck. I would say it's more of a, like a little bit of a chunky neck, but not like hugely chunky. Now, does that bother me? No, it is not. It feels wonderful to play. Again, the flame is just really nice, really pretty. I love just having like dark necks on my guitars. Feels smooth. Didn't feel, you know, when gigging or practicing, never felt any obstruction. Easy to go up to the 24 frets. You know, over here, even though it doesn't have the cutaway, I have no problem going up there. I mean, even on a Les Paul, I could probably go out there, maybe a little bit harder, but it was not a big deal for me. So, pretty easy to play. The bridge, okay, very important, guys. I got this guitar mainly because I needed to have a guitar with a Floyd. And this Floyd works perfectly, guys. As I said in the first part of the video, it did take me like a while to set it up. I had to like really like go up and down, retune, go up and down, retune, do a little bit of a setup. But once it settles it in, right, once everything kind of comes together, then that's just like a Floyd Rewind 1000 works. I think you guys have seen it on many other guitars. It is just a standard for a bridge that stays in two. didn't have any tuning problems with it at all. With gigging, didn't have any problems in tuning at all. So works great. The bar, you can actually adjust it, which I like. You can actually adjust it with like a knob here. So it's like a knob, and then you just twist it to the right or twist it to the left, and then you can see how loose or how tight you want it to be. So I think that that's actually really nice. It makes it really easy to adjust. Let's see what else we got. So it feels like to play. Didn't have any neck bite, which is also very important, especially if you're gigging. Didn't feel like the guitar was kind of like, diving to the neck. That felt fun. Again, as I said, not heavy. Switches felt good. So pretty much, guys, I mean, I think the tones were good too. So it feels like a really good guitar, guys. So, if I was to compare it to maybe some of my other guitars, or maybe even some guitars that I have in the past. For example, I have at least what I think is my best guitar at the moment. I have this Shredmaster, and yeah, it's not gonna go up into that territory also because it's just such a different guitar. Shredmaster is just like really new in every sense. But I have a few PRS SCs, and I would definitely say that they're like in the same range. So guys, for the price, we're talking a lot of guitar for not so much money. What you're getting, guys, is just, it's really, really nice. It's pretty amazing, I would say. I mean, the colors are beautiful. The construction is well done. Again, that's another thing that I look for in a guitar. If it's well constructed, if it feels like good quality. I think we can all tell, like, if you get in a car, you can tell when the car is just like, just like a normal, I don't know, Toyota or something like that. And then, when you get like an amazing car or a pretty good car, you can just tell as soon as you're going to them. With this guitar, it's kind of the same. I don't know if that's a good description, but it feels quality, guys. I have, in the past, have a lot of, really nice guitars and also cheap guitars, guys. And this one, it feels quality. It feels good to play. Doesn't feel cheap at all, even though it's inexpensive. I don't like using the word cheap because I think cheap usually translates to these that are not good. So it's inexpensive, but does not feel cheap, guys. This feels like a really good, well built. Cannot find any faults on the paint. I've been looking to see if I find anything, the joints, everything just is really, really well done. As far as the setup, guys, I did have to set it up. Strings came a little bit high. But besides that, guys, I mean, that's something that if you watch the YouTube video, it's going to take you a few minutes just to do a set. But, it feels good, sounds good, it looks good, which is also very important to me. So, those are kind of the things that are important to me in a guitar. That it feels good, that I like the neck, which I do, and that it sounds good, which at the end of the day, that's, can always choose the pickup on a guitar to something you like. So as long as the construction of the, like, kind of like the core of the guitar, is something that I feel comfortable and I like, then, I think it's a really good guitar. So those are kind of my final opinions on it, guys. I think it's beautiful. I think it is inexpensive for what it is. I know that now we're probably going to get, I'm in South America right now. I know here is huge what you have to pay for taxes for these things. But even then, it's still a lot less than many other brands, which also do good guitars, great guitars. But, if you're maybe not able to spend a lot of money on a guitar, this is already an amazing guitar. I see a lot of people saying that they suggest like a beginner should get this. I think a beginner, if they can, should get any guitar they can. It's good. But I'll even suggest this for like a gigging, musician that maybe does it for a living, because this is an amazing workhorse. I can take this out, and maybe if something happens to it, I won't feel like, oh my God, like I lost so much. I did because you create sentimental value, but for what it is, guys, you are getting a really good experience. So pretty happy with this one, guys. In the future, I'll do other reviews with other Harley Benton and other brands, and then obviously where this goes, guys, I also do videos on pedals or gear. So I would love for you guys to tell me what you guys want to see, and just give me your opinion. Do you have a Harley Benton, any Harley Benton? What is your opinion on them? If you have this one, if you have maybe one of the Fusion 3s, I will do a video to compare a Fusion 3 to this one, just in case anyone is interested. But that's my overall opinion at the end, guys. Really, really good guitar. Really happy with it. Gig with it, sounded good. Recorded with it, sounded good. So, really have nothing major to say. Actually, one thing. The reverse headstock, it's not a huge thing. I do kind of like it when it's like the other way around. Mainly because here on my desk, every once in a while, I'm out of space. When I put a guitar, I actually hit the tunes by accident. Just because of that, I don't mind how it looks. I think it looks alright. Doesn't matter if it's the other way either. For me, it looks really the same. Doesn't make a difference to me. But it is a little bit easier when you have them on the other side, I think. Alright, so that's pretty much it for today, guys. If you guys have any questions, please write in the comments. Let me know what you think. And hopefully I'll see you guys soon.